the
rusty
garnet,
looking.
yeah.
Like
Did you get
garnet.
worried when it was tasting a little rough?
No,
or you
not
said-
at all. Not at all. Typically, red wines need a little time to get
Mm-hmm.
over bottle shock.
Yep.
The wine is in these barrels, and it gets dumped into these giant tanks, and then it gets bottled, and it's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
moving around, and it needs a little time to just settle down and be calm. So get your nose in here. You're gonna
Yeah.
get a little bit more of an earthy flavor and
Ah.
a note. So I get some notes of chocolate. I get a little bit of tobacco. I get a little bit of
I definitely
leather.
get the tobacco right away.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting more Bordeaux notes in here. This is screaming Bordeaux to me.
And then
Former smokers like the tobacco.
Yeah.
And then once it's on your palate, it's going to be a lot smoother than that Syrah you just tasted
Yeah.
because it's a little bit more mature
Yeah.
and a little bit more earthy.
Yeah.
That's
And so-
nice.
That is
Nice.
nice.
I get the chocolate notes, that cocoa note
Yeah.
right away.
Wow.
Then cherries following.
Completely different than the Syrah.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is really nice.
That's nice.
Ooh, I like this.
Well, you got
Shame on Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
Slamming Merlot.
Drink Merlot.
But I'm sorry, you were going to say?
I said you got a fan and a friend
There
in
you
Josh.
go.
now
Yeah.
Just because of this.
Drink
Right,
more
cheers.
Merlot. Let's boom the Merlot industry. Oh, this is really nice. So one of the most expensive wines in the world is a wine called Chateau Cheval Blanc.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 50-50 Cabernet Franc, and Merlot wine from the right bank of Bordeaux. Bordeaux
Okay.
is, so for you guys, Bordeaux is in two sections. There's a left bank, well, I'm going this way to the camera. There's a left bank and the right bank. Left bank is Cabernet, right bank is Merlot. They're all blends of 5 different grapes. Left bank is predominantly a Cabernet Sauvignon blend. Right bank is predominantly right bank. Wow, you gonna try that again. The right bank is predominantly Merlot blend wines, and the other famous wine, which they did a whole documentary on, is called Petrus. This was forged. Basically, this guy was making wines and putting fake labels on, calling it Petrus. And Petrus might be the most expensive wine in the entire world, and it's a Merlot. So my point is, the most expensive wine in the world, Petrus, is Merlot. One of the other most expensive wines in the world, most famous wines in the world, Chateau Cheval Blanc, Merlot.
Wow.
Drink more Merlot. It's
more
awesome.
Merlot.
It just should be. It's just such a great, and it's a much more compared. Even though they can be vinified different ways, it's actually more food friendly than Cabernet Sauvignon.
Why is
Cabernet-
that?
Cabernet Sauvignon, it's a bigger wine, tends to have more of the tannic effect. Even though Merlots can have heavy tannins in them, because it's not as big as Cabernet Sauvignon, it's not as light as Pinot Noir. It's a very in the middle wine in a lot of different ways, so it can really kind of chameleon in a sense with a lot of different foods. Like when you pair wine, one of the hardest thing is like when I worked in a restaurant, you have a table of 5 people all getting very different things, and they want to get a bottle for the table.
Right.
You can't get one thing for one dish. You have to get wines that kind of play well with others. Sometimes you want a wine that doesn't like necessarily enhance the food, but doesn't fight with the food.
Right.
But if you can find that happy medium, Merlot is one of those wines you can really kind of achieve that happy medium. But people don't look at it anymore.
It's outstanding.
This is really good.
Yeah. It's outstanding.
This is awesome.
How's he doing? Is he just talking out his
Now he's
butt,
doing
or-
great. He's doing wonderful.
How's he doing? How's he
I'm
doing?
not completely
I'll
full of
ask you
shit.
again when they're not in earshot.
I'm only a little full of shit. Wine is about 15% bullshit, and then the rest is real. It's like there's that little psychosomatic part of wine. Like when I started learning about wine, I was still one of those people like, tastes like wine. I don't know, it tastes like alcohol. But when someone puts the thoughts in your mind,
Yeah.
you can think of it as it being BS, but it's waking your mind up to being aware of things.
There's a world involved in wine which I'm removed from,
Yeah.
but I appreciate so deeply because of how vast and in depth it goes.
Yeah.
It's really incredible.
It bleeds into everything though. It bleeds
Yeah.
into bourbon, it bleeds into beer. It's like it's all the same premise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, man.
Yeah.
I had a wine not long ago. My wife and I went out to eat. I forget the name of it, but it was wine aged in bourbon barrels. Does that ring a bell? Copper and Thief? Copper?
I know which one. Yeah.
Copper Thief.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I was actually, and like I said, I'm not a big wine person, but I was actually in the mood for wine that night.
Yeah.
And because I was in the mood for regular wine that night and I got that, I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
A little
You know.
bit, add some flavor. They use rum barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. It was unique, very unique.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The
Those are
barrels make a
great.
big deal. The barrels make a big deal, like how wine turns out. Every type of wood, how it's treated, where it's from. Like French oak is like the best of the best. It's the most expensive.
Right.
It's the most sought after. Then there's Slovenian, which is kind of like the other most popular type of wood, but it still doesn't do what French oak does.
What about, when you hear about people that get like beer kits, like a lot of
Yeah,
dads
yeah.
for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
They got their own little beer. Can you do that with wine? Is wine like a singular thing where it's like someone's making beer on their own? It's just this little kit,
You
but
can't do there are like home winemaking things, but not. It's still way more involved because you have to press juice.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
to pre the like the winemaking process. There's a lot of steps. It can be very complex, and that's why every wine can taste so different, and why every winemaker can put their own stamp on it because it's like their way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Pressing the grapes alone is a whole process. How you decide to press the grapes, how you decide to macerate them.
Yeah.
Like how much time you let them sit. Like when you press. So here's a fun fact for people who may not know this. All wine is white. All wine juice is white. It gets its color from contact with the skin. So like when they make white wine, they press the juice, they remove the grapes. They don't let it touch. It stays white. The longer you let it sit in, like the skins and everything and the seeds sit in the juice, the more color it's going to extract. And that's where the color comes from. And also there's different methods in actually extracting the juice. There's something that's like called carbonic maceration, for instance, where they actually put like carbon dioxide in there to like kind of expand the grapes I'm getting way too nerdy here. But anyway, I'm going to stop there. It's
I'm trying
too
to think how
much.
to spell that. Like,
Yeah.
Lost me.
But all these processes are like the first step into affecting how the wine is going to taste,
Yeah.
how it's going to feel, because any of that, every grape is different. The skins are thinner, they're thicker, they have different levels of tannins, and that's why certain wines don't have that tannin because the skins themselves are where it comes from.
So the region affects the taste.
The region affects it because how it grows. Like he was talking about seasons earlier, long growing seasons, shorter growing seasons affect how much time the grape has to mature. And certain grapes need longer maturity times. Sometimes they need shorter maturity times. So if the seasons don't line up, the grape is not going to grow well in that region.
So this might seem like a generic question,
Yeah.
or even a generic answer, but is New Jersey known for a certain type of taste for wine as a whole? Or is
It's
it
it's a broad question.
Yeah.
But I think to kind of key in a little bit on what Josh was saying, and there's a red grape that grows really well here in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, called Chamberson, which is
tried that.
really hardy, thick-skinned red grape. It's cold weather hardy.
Okay.
And it does well in this climate.
Yeah.
And then back to what you were saying about the growing season.
Yeah.
It really differs. So our Cabernet Sauvignon, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Is not as big and bold as
Oh,
your
interesting.
California cabs. And the
Okay.
reason it's not as big and bold is we don't have that hang time.
Right.
We don't have this endless season
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah, yeah.
grapes and can just sit there and build up sugars and flavors.
Right.
We are, have a much shorter growing season here in New Jersey. And
Yeah.
I'll give you another example. We have another vineyard down in South Jersey that we manage. It's just a place for growing grapes.
Okay.
It's 75 miles south of here, but the growing season is probably 5 to 6 weeks longer.
Wow.
Within the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
It's 75 miles south.
That's
but
crazy. Yeah.
So they get 2 or 3 weeks more in the beginning of the season and 2 or 3 weeks more on the back end of the
Wow.
season, which really does a lot. So if we're
Yeah.
growing Cabernet Sauvignon here and we're growing Cabernet Sauvignon
Very
there,
different.
Yeah,
they're going to be a little bit different. Now, of course, what you were talking about, the sense of place, terroir,
Yeah.
the soil, the microclimate that
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
in, all affects the fruit and how the flavors are going to come out.
Yeah.
And so the Cabernet Sauvignon that we grow down in the south might be a little bit more, have a little bit more flavor, a little bit more sugar, and up here a little bit more acidic.
Right.
The skins are maybe not as thick. And so
Gotcha.
to blend that all together, you get
Yeah.
a really nice sense of what we
Right.
can do locally in New Jersey.
Nice.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
man.
all of those things do play a factor.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
Wow.
thank you.